Hi guys, I'm Jessica, that vegan yoga teacher, and today I want to give you a 30-minute yoga practice for hip flexibility. But before we get started, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and hit the bell next to the subscribe button so that you can be notified anytime I post something new. And make sure that you hit the thumbs up button for me too. Post a note in the comments and let me know what types of things you would like me to post, and let me know what you thought of this video. So let's get started. Let's begin in child's pose. Bring the knees out wide and let your arms reach forward, the crown of the head reaching the ground. Take a few breaths in here through the nose and let it go through your mouth. Breathe in again through the nose. Let it go through your mouth. And just start to feel any tension in your body. Notice where it is. Start to breathe into those spots. Visualize your breath kind of just wrapping around that tightness and loosening it up. So as you're here, your body is probably a little bit stiff, and the more you breathe, the more you're going to start to just open up all of those stuck spots. One more breath in here, and then we're going to press into the hands and come up into a tabletop. Inhale as you pull the right knee into your chest, and then extend the leg up toward the sky. Open the knee out wide, bring it forward and back. Inhale, extend the leg up, open the knee, bring it forward and down. One more time. Inhale, extend the leg up like you're kicking the ceiling. Open the hip, bring the knee forward towards your shoulder and down. Good. We'll do the other side. Inhale, bring the knee into your chest. Exhale, and then as you inhale, bring the leg up toward the sky. Open the hip, bring the knee forward towards the shoulder and back down. Inhale, bring it up. Open it out, bring it forward, bring it down. One more time. Inhale, bring it up behind you, open out the hip, bring the knee forward, and then bring it down. Good. Take the hands forward just a tad and lift up and back for downward facing dog. Press the heels down towards the earth, and remember it's okay if your heels don't touch the ground. You're straightening your legs out only when it feels comfortable enough for you to do so, and stick your butt up at the same time. Nice long upper body from the fingertips all the way to the hips. Inhale as you reach the right leg up toward the sky. Open the hip and bend the knee. And just stay here for a moment. Equal weight in both hands. Press down into the left heel, and then exhale as you step the right foot up in between the hands. Let the back knee land on the ground. For a second, open the knee out to the side. Bring it back in. Lift back up and extend the right leg back up toward the sky, three-legged dog. Take the foot down and inhale the left leg up. Open the knee, bend the knee. Pressing equally into both hands, and then exhale as you extend the right foot up in between the hands. Drop down to the back knee for a second. Open up the left knee away from you. Bring it back. Inhale, three-legged dog. Back to down dog. Now start to open your feet about hip width distance apart, maybe a little bit wider, and then walk your hands back towards the back of your mat. We're going to come into a forward fold here at the back of your mat. Bend your knees with your feet pretty wide and grab opposite elbows to hang in ragdoll. So we're just going to hang the upper body and swing it side to side like you're making half circles with the upper body. Come back to the middle. Turn the toes out wide, heels in, and bring it down into our malasana, our yogi squat. Palms together in front of the heart. Press the elbows into the knees, knees back into the elbows. gaze forward, lift the heart. So we're just going to rest here for a moment, letting the hips open. If you want to sit on a block, you can do that. Still allows you to get a really nice opening in the hips. Good, and then we'll bring the hands down to the ground. Come back up to a forward fold. Heel toe the feet back together so that they're hip width distance apart. Walk the hands forward and come back into downward facing dog. Inhale, come into plank. Shoot your body forward. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Inhale, and then look forward. Exhale, start to just walk your feet up to the front of the mat. Come to a forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Then exhale, forward fold again. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand, bringing your arms together overhead, and then your hands to your heart. Nice, let's inhale, reach your arms up overhead, and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Now we're going to heel toe the feet out again and come down into our yogi squat one more time. Bring the palms together in front of the heart. Now if you have crow pose in your practice, please feel free to come into crow. I'm actually going to back up on my mat a little bit here. And if you don't have crow in your practice, that's okay. Just hang out here. This is a great place to be. If you're coming into crow, hands are going to be down, fingers open wide. Lift the hips, tuck the tailbone, press the knees forward, look forward, press into the fingertips, spread the toes out wide, pull the belly in. Now you can step back to a plank, or you can jump back through chaturanga, whatever is in your practice. We'll come through chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. And bring the feet together at the back of the mat. Inhale, extend your left leg high. Exhale, step your left foot up in between your hands. Turn the back toes out 90 degrees. Open up to warrior two. Gazing out past the left middle finger. Breathe here. And while you're here, I want you to feel like you're really squeezing your left glute. So it's going to pull your left knee out a little bit. And then you start to really squeeze the right glutes. It's going to engage the muscles of the leg. So the more you engage the back of the leg muscles, the more you'll open up the inner leg muscles. Press down through the outer edge of the back foot. Reach forward, inhale, flip the left palm, exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, come back through center, straighten the front leg, pivot the front foot so that it is facing the long side of your mat. And bring your hands to your hips. Now, you're going to pigeon toe your feet. Unless you have any sciatica issues, you're going to turn your toes out a little bit wider. But if not, pigeon toe your feet, heels pressing out, toes pointing in, hands at your hips, fold halfway. So stay here. Notice where you are so far in this pose. If you need to bend your knees here to keep your back nice and long, do that. If not, keep your legs straight, and then we'll all just bring the hands down. Let the weight come forward into the toe mounds. This has always been one of my favorite poses. I could stay here all day. I don't know why, it just really is. So if you're feeling really comfortable here, you can take your hands back underneath of you and just kind of wiggle walk your fingers back, 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 pressing the weight forward into your toe mounds. You're going to start to feel it more in your hamstrings all the way through the back of the legs. And And start to walk your hands back, forward. And we'll turn the toes out wide, bend the knees, and come up to goddess pose. So stay here, just focusing on pulling the knees back. So we're squeezing the outer thigh muscles again. Good. And then we'll bring the hands down to our knees. So you're going to lean forward, really press the hands into the inner thighs. And we'll drop the right shoulder, and then the left, and then the right, and then the left. So just going back and forth like this, getting a nice alternate stretch through the hips. Good. Come back through center. Inhale, come up, turn back into your warrior two. Cartwheel your hands down, frame out the front foot, and step back to downward facing dog. Inhale to a plank, lower down chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg high. Exhale, step your right foot up in between your hands, coming into warrior two on the right side. Gazing out over the right middle finger and breathe. So at this point, we should all be breathing our ujjayi breath. And if you're not familiar with what ujjayi breath is, in Sanskrit it means victorious breath. You breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Slight constriction of the throat muscles, and it sounds like you're wheezing as you breathe in, and it sounds like you're sighing as you exhale, but the lips are sealed. This heats the body from the inside out, helping with our flexibility and even with our metabolism. Flip the right palm, reach forward, exhale, reverse warrior. Right arm reaches up and back. Keep true to the bend in the right knee. And then inhale, come back into your warrior two. Come back into our wide-legged forward fold. Bend halfway, and then all the way. Now, if you have an inversion in your practice, go ahead and take an inversion here if you'd like. Something I always encourage people to do when they are in their wide-legged forward fold, if you want to do an inversion, is to open the feet a little bit wider, bring the elbows to the ground, interlace the fingers with the palms facing up. As you place the crown of the head in the hands, lift up out of the heels. And then you come down. You can do this again. And if you feel comfortable, maybe you start to lift up. But as you do that, press the feet out wide. And then bring the legs together overhead. Now to come out, you're going to focus on pressing the feet away, away, away. It's not about coming down, it's about going out really wide. Then you pivot the hips, open the toes really wide, and then come down. Come back to your half fold here. Open up into warrior two. Cartwheel the hands down, frame out the front foot, and step back to downward facing dog. Bring the feet together at the back of the mat and inhale your right leg high. Flex through the foot. Exhale, step your right foot up to the outside of your right hand. Coming into lizard pose, you're gonna pull the right knee in towards the right shoulder. Back knee can be lifted. Keep the gaze about 2 to 3 feet out in front of you. Keep the chest lifted. So if at any point, as we go through the modifications of this pose, if you feel like you're rounding your back here, then come back up to this position. So if this feels good, you can come down to your elbows and keep pulling the right knee in towards your chest. Right knee in towards your right shoulder. If you have blocks, you can place your elbows on blocks. And remember, you can always come down to your back knee. We're going to extend the right arm up, Take a deep breath in as you squeeze the right shoulder down your back. And then press the right hand to the inside of the right thigh as you press the upper body away and open up the right thigh. Inhale, bring it back in. Bring both hands to the ground. Lift up off of the back knee and step the right foot back. Downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg high. Exhale, step the left foot up to the outside of the left hand. You can always stay here. You can drop down to your back knee if you'd like. If it feels comfortable, come down onto your elbows. Keep breathing. Always, always, always breathing. Good. And then we're going to extend the left arm up toward the sky. Keep really strong through this back leg. Don't let it collapse down. Reach up tall. And then exhale as you bring your left hand to the inside of the left leg, pressing the upper body away. Bring it back into center. Lift up the left foot. Step it back, downward facing dog. Breath in here. As you inhale, lower down chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And then exhale back to downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in, right leg reaches high. Exhale, bring your right foot up, letting the right knee land somewhere behind the right hand, and the right foot lands somewhere behind the left hand. Drop down to your left knee and wiggle walk that left foot back a little bit more. Point the left toes. And you can just stay here for a moment. So important parts of this pose, hips are facing forward. So you want to avoid coming down like this or like this. Make sure your hips are facing forward. And the further forward your front foot, the more intense the pose. Keep the heart lifted. And then slowly start to lower down onto your elbows or all the way down, letting your head rest on your hands. Now this pose can be pretty intense, and for a lot of us it's not comfortable to have this downward pressure on our hips. So if that's the case, you can come onto your back into a reclined figure four. Take one more breath in here. Exhale, let it go. And then start to lift your head, press your hands into the ground. Tuck your back toes under, and then inhale as you lift the right leg up and over, coming into a three-legged dog. You can bend the right knee, open the right hip, point your right knee up toward the sky, and then you can even flip your dog. Drop the right foot down behind you. Come down. Bring your right hand to your heart. Inhale. Lift up and open the heart. Coming into wild thing. Exhale. Flip your dog back around. Breath out. Take a breath in. Left leg extends up. Exhale. Bring your left foot forward. Coming into our pigeon pose on the left side. The left knee sets up somewhere behind the left hand, and the left foot sets up somewhere behind the right hand. Hips face forward, back toes are pointed. And then you can lower down onto your elbows. Or you can stay up here for a few minutes, just getting a nice hip stretch. So staying up here is going to give you a little bit more of a stretch right through the front of your back leg, the back hip. Once you feel good here, come on down onto the elbows or even onto the hands. Begin to lift your head. Lift your hands up. Tuck the back toes under and start to lift up into a three-legged dog with your left leg high. You can stay here or you can flip your dog, opening up your hip, bend your left knee, pointing the knee up toward the sky, and then slowly with control, drop the left foot down, hand to your heart, inhale, open up into wild thing. Exhale, flip your dog back around. Nice. And then come down onto your hands and knees. We'll come forward into a seat. And you're going to set your left foot up so that it is straight out in front of you. Take the right foot and bring the right foot so that the heel is on top of the left knee. If you look down at your right knee, you'll be able to see the front half of your left foot peeking out in front of you underneath of the knee. So you don't want to have your legs back like this. And to protect the knee and protect the ankle, you don't want to be looking at the sole of your foot facing up toward the sky. You want to have the sole of this top foot facing out to the side. So if this isn't happening without compromising the integrity of this pose, so if you're kind of turning the foot like this, just bring the feet out in front of you. So wherever you are, bring your hands to either your knee and your heel, or you can bring the hands out in front of you. You can keep the gaze forward. If you feel really good, start to walk the upper body down. Hands come forward. And then walk your hands back. And we'll switch legs. So this time we'll take the right foot underneath and the left foot on top. Flex the feet. Find what works for you. Hands can remain here, or you can bring your hands forward. So this side I'm not going to go down too far because this side is a little bit tighter than the other side. So I'm just going to acknowledge that and not push myself too far. Little by little, we open the body. It takes a long time, but that's okay. It's all about the journey, not about the goal. And then start to walk the upper body back up. We're going to come into a reclined bound. So go ahead and bring the soles of your feet together and lie down on your back. You can turn your palms up here, or you can bring the hands to the insides of your thighs. Allow yourself to just take a few moments to rest here. You can close your eyes down. You can even bring one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. Just check in with yourself here. You show up every day ready to do everything for everyone else, to meet deadlines, deliver things, just take care of things, to take care of everyone around you, and make sure that you show up for yourself, to take care of yourself. Start to bring your knees together. It will cross the right knee over the left. And just rock the knees side to side here. You can take your arms out to a T. And then finally, you're going to drop the knees all the way over to the left. Reaching your right arm out behind you, left arm out in front of you. So your arms are out to a T. If you want, you can take your left hand and bring it to the top of your right thigh, just to give yourself a nice little gentle assist. Don't worry too much if your right shoulder blade isn't on the floor. You want to have your hips stacked. And if you're giving yourself this little assist, you can open up the arm again and then come back up through center. Uncross the legs and then recross left leg over the right leg. Rock side to side. And finally, drop the knees now over to the right. You can look out past the left arm. And if you want, you can bring the right hand to the top of the left knee. Release the hand from the knee. Come all the way up through center. Uncross the legs. And then give yourself a nice big squeeze. You deserve it. Lower the legs. Take your arms down by your sides. Extend your legs down. And relax into Shavasana. Close your eyes and feel your whole entire body relaxing. Feel everything starting to slow. Feel your tongue resting comfortably on the bottom of your mouth and the eyes heavy in the eye sockets. Feel the back of the head pressing into the floor. Just start to focus on your breathing. We begin to wiggle our fingers and toes, introducing movement and life back into the body. Arms reach overhead, and then bring your knees into your chest. Roll over onto your right side into a fetal pose, letting your head rest on your right arm. Drape your left arm in front of you for support. Take a moment here to come back to life. And when you're ready, finally press yourself back up to a comfortable seated position on your mat. I invite you to bring your hands together in front of your heart and bow your head in a gesture to remind us of the connection between mind and body. Please go from here today with peace and inner strength. I honor the place in you where the entire universe resides. I honor the place in you of love, of light, of peace, of truth. When you are in that place in you and I am in that place in me, we are one. Namaste. Hey guys, Hercules and I want to thank you so much, and Garfield, want to thank you so much for sharing your practice with us today. Please make sure that you hit the subscribe button and that you hit the bell next to the subscribe button so that you can be updated when I post new content. And make sure that you give this video a thumbs up and post in the comments. Let me know what other types of yoga flows or vegan information you want me to post on my channel. Thanks so much for watching. Bye. Say bye, Hercules.